Bishop, quite frankly, he made the call. There's going to be two Catholic high schools in the city.
Is there a time frame
I don't think there's
that you
a
were
time.
given, or
No, I think it's a I want to say it's a done deal, but for now it's Ursuline and Mooney and Warren JFK up in Trumbull County.
Now, as an Ursuline guy, could you see how does it feel? Mooney and Ursuline merger, whether it's called Youngstown Catholic, whether it's green and red, whether could that exist? Is that
I think that's a very
I don't even know
interesting.
a word to
Well,
throw
I think
out
it's a
there.
very interesting question because I do think that there's probably alumni.
Would you feel good about it as an Ursuline guy?
I think there's families on both sides of the fence who would be unhappy if there was a merger. As a parent, I could live with it. I'd have no problems with it. As mayor, I like having strong Catholic schools on both sides of the north side and the south side of Youngstown.
Is that a false border by chance, anyway?
I think it is pretty much a false border anymore. I mean, the river is the sort of the cut through the place. But I think anymore you have kids. Ursuline's got kids from St. Charles and Holy Family now. I think both schools are picking, get kids from everywhere.
That's
and
okay.
I think it's okay. I mean, I went to Catholic grade school. My wife went to Catholic grade school. We both went to Ursuline. I think parents have the opportunity to pick where they want to send their kids to school at. And it's really a parent's decision on what to do these days.
So I'm sorry for being political, but it's Youngstown Ursuline, Youngstown Mooney. That's two good schools, and let's for the near future anyway. It's no plans to do anything about it.
No, I don't think. I think when Bishop Murray made the decision that Mooney was staying where it is, it's the end of the conversation.
And we're all good with that.
We're good with it, and it just means the Ursuline Mooney tradition of a great rivalry will continue into the future.
Do you have any aspirations or hopes for Ursuline to beat Mooney, win out, and make the playoffs this year, or are you kind of suspect to that right now?
I'll be honest. I know that Ursuline's probably playoff chances are probably pretty slim. I'm not even quite sure if a win over Mooney would help.
They're not mathematically eliminated.
Oh,
so,
well, hey.
But,
I think there's a line for a movie. There's still a chance.
yeah. But there's other teams ahead of them that aren't mathematically eliminated either. So.
Okay. I think it's. I think the kids from Ursuline are going to come out and play hard on Friday night, just because it's Ursuline Mooney. And if a win helps give them a better chance, obviously, to get to the playoffs, that's fine too. But they're going to come out and play hard because it's Ursuline Mooney.
So either way, the outcome doesn't. I mean, how important is it for you to get a victory here?
I'd love to see an Ursuline victory.
To ruin Mooney's season? Is that a special?
No, certainly not.
As an Ursuline guy,
certainly
not as a mayor.
certainly not to ruin Mooney's season. I know that they're gonna do well regardless of what happens on Friday night.
It seems that way.
It seems that way. I think it's going to be a good game. You can tell I'm dodging all these questions.
That's okay,
right
but as
now.
a mayor, you're glad that Mooney has a good chance to possibly.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see those kids.
Is that hard to say? As a mayor,
Even as an
being-
Ursuline guy, it's not difficult to say. I go to with our kids at St. Christine's. We have a lot of kids who go to Ursuline. We have a
Yes.
lot of kids who go to Mooney.
Yes.
We have kids who play basketball, football, whatever. So I really am happy to see both schools continuing to exist and kids on all those sports, girls and boys, playing hard as they can. No matter what sport you're involved in, when it's Ursuline and Mooney, it's Ursuline Mooney. I think the other night the Ursuline boys soccer team beat the Mooney boys soccer team for the first time I think since 2004.
3-0 or something.
Yeah,
right?
so for those guys from Ursuline, that might have capped off their high school career by beating Mooney like they did for the first time since 2005. That's something they'll remember because they beat Mooney.
The thing about it, there's history, no matter what, right?
It is.
Good,
and
bad, ugly, it's history.
Good, bad, ugly, and I'll be honest. When you play Mooney, it's a hard game. It's a clean game. I played basketball at Ursuline, and I remember the Ursuline Mooney games. They were tough battles. You played against Bo Pelini was a year or two ahead of me. He was the same tough guy that he is now. He was back in high school. So, again, when it's Ursuline Mooney, girls sports, boys sports, doesn't matter. You're playing your arch rival, and it's both sides of the fence.
Wow, how cool is this? Mayor of Youngstown getting his perspective as an Ursuline guy, as a Youngstown mayor. Kind of cool. Thank you, Mr. McNally, for your time.
Thanks, Gary. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm honored in a way to have you here tonight. Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Great. We'll be back with more from Yards After Contact from Kelly's Bar in Youngstown, Ohio. And welcome back to the final segment of Yards After Contact from Kelly's Bar, Mahoney Avenue in Youngstown, Ohio. Geez, Ryan, we just heard from the mayor of Youngstown. Some great players in the series. Paul Kemp was unbelievable, an Ursuline guy. Chris Vecchione, Jesus, the Pelogos, just unbelievable lineup kind of we had tonight. Really on the spur of the moment, talk about the Holy War. Well, I guess maybe you have a little perspective on this Holy War. You kind of touched on it in our opening segment, but really, what does it mean to you, and why is this game, why is it so special in this area?
Well, it's special because those are guys that you grow up with, whether it's, going to, as funny as it is, a little BCC dance when you're in 8th grade, all the way through to the time when you're playing in the actual game. You know all those guys. They're all, they're all friends. But it's something you can't describe unless you play in it. I think you touched on it earlier when you said it's it's Ohio State, Michigan, and high school version. It is. You get alumni coming in. It's flooded. The field's flooded. You get guys you don't see for a whole year come in. It's Ursa Mooney Week. It's Ursa Mooney Week. It's Ursa Mooney Week. And now it's like, you get on Facebook now. That's all you see, Ursa Mooney Week. It's something special. And you run out on the field, and it's just, I'm getting chills right now thinking about how crazy it is. For me, I'm a guy, I was 0-4 against Mooney. But it's like freshman year, we battled. Sophomore year, we battled. Junior year, you battle. And it's something where you literally throw the records out is true. It's 100% true. It's everyone has a little bit. If you have a little bit of pride left in week 9, whether you're in or out of the playoffs, it's you build it up, you bottle it up because it's someone that some 50. I wore 51 in high school. I saw 27 guys that wore 51 before me walked in and told me, "Hey, you got to play hard for me this week because I wore 51." And that's the things that happened in that week, and that's the special part of it.
Well, we had Paul Kemp on, and he ended up winning 3 state titles, playing in 4 of them. He came right after you. Different kind of perspective, but how was it thinking back, losing to Mooney like you did? Do you still feel the pain?
Oh, I mean, I always will. And the way it used to start was the week used to go. Wednesday used to be North Catholic versus South Catholic. And Thursday was the freshman game, and Friday's our game. So it was like the whole week was a beautiful week build up, and the crap talking would start on Mondays, and you start bringing up. I'd get texts from
you didn't have Facebook really.
Yes, but you get text messages. I grew up. The crazy part is Danny McCarthy and Michael Zordich, my year, they were my best friends growing up. When we start, talking stuff back and forth the whole week long. Monday comes, it's Mooney Week now. Now it's Mooney Week. And now we start going. And for them, it's Ursa Week. And now it gets crazy. It's built up. Inside the building, they got speakers going in between classes at a Catholic school. Normally, every other week of the year that you're in session, it's quiet. You're going to your locker. You're doing your thing. Mooney Week, everything's decorated. We got speakers playing. It's blasting. So, good luck telling your kids as a coach or us as players, hey, you got to focus. You got to focus. Don't get caught up in the week. When you got a small building and the music's blasting, they're telling you what's going on. You got friends texting you, hey, I'm going to kick your ass and this thing, going on. And, it's insane. And I still remember my senior year, the coin toss going on. I'm a captain, and you got these guys across the field that are, McCarthy and Zorich walking. They're my best friends, and I'm looking at them, and we're shaking hands, and we're talking stuff to each other as it's going on. The bishop's there flipping the coin, and it's just, and you're looking out. I think my senior year we had over 5,000 people there. We were 7-1. They were 8-0. They were ranked in the country because they had beat Gateway and they had beat Mentor. I mean, they were fully loaded. But we both played for a state championship that year, so it was very special. But it's memories. The games themselves are a blur. I bet you ask Terica and you ask Vecchione and you ask all these guys, you ask Matt Perlogo and Paul, you ask them to tell you certain plays, I guarantee you they could barely tell you things. And if they can tell you something, it's something somebody else told you happened. It's not their version of it. It's such a blur. High school football is the fastest 10 weeks. the Mooney Ursuline game is the fastest 48 minutes ever.
Do you remember anything special in that series, those games?
You know,
anything stick out that was made it
to me,
that made it your version of it at all? You know?
to me, I just think it's so much to me is, and I guess maybe you're talking about an 0-4 guy telling the story, but to me, it's so much. It's the build up. It's seeing the pride. I enjoyed it as a coach. I enjoyed it actually more, and maybe not because of just winning as a coach. I think it's just because you could step back. You don't put so much pressure on yourself. You really enjoy it, but you really you turn it up. I guess as I think through, small memories are, I remember
going to the coin toss with Dan.
yeah, I mean, those things,
That's
but
kind of different.
yeah, I mean, we go through it, but you're talking about guys, Ishmael Kitchen. I'm playing my junior year, and we're doubling. You figure their D line is Ishmael and Johnny Simon, two NFL guys, and you're going against them, and I'm pushing Ishmael, and I go, those are guys too, because the whole year Ursa Mooney, we didn't have the luxury of playing local teams, so now you're finally going against guys, and I'm like, I remember I'm down blocking Ish, a guy, I go, hey, Ish, you're a big SOP, man. What the hell, But it's just like, I guess it's so, those guys are your friends. And we didn't get to play the city, the SVC. You played the city series, so you get to see these guys all the time. So I guess it's just, those guys, you went to grade school together. At St. Christine's, you made a choice. You went to Ursuline or Mooney. So those guys, I mean, Timmy Marlowe, guys who played for the team. Timmy Marlowe's in my wedding. Michael Zorch in my wedding, coming up. So it's like, it's crazy. But for that one day, for that 48 minutes, they're completely your enemy. And it's crazy. You play with those guys your whole life. Everything you do, they're still in, they're in your phone. You're gonna go hang out with them for that 1 week out of the year. For 51 weeks of the year, they're your best friend. But for that 1 week, they're that ass over there on the other side of the river that you want to kill. So
that's cool, different perspective.
Yeah.
Now, it's Kelly's Bar. That's a special week for you guys this weekend.
Yeah.
Coming up.
You know what? I got a lot of guys getting together. We're going to do a tailgate down at Ursuline. They're going to do a nice tailgate. Ursuline does a good job with that. Then we're going to come here for an after party. So all Ursuline alumni, invite you here. You can come before or after the game. Saturday, we will have the YSU game on. We're excited about. We're Penguins fans here. We're all in. So Ohio State plays at 8 o'clock.
Happy Valley. I'll be there.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a big game. So we're enjoying football season. Smoker specials. Still ribs, chicken, brisket on Saturdays. So we're really enjoying football season. We're doing well with football season. So
your thoughts real quick. I went to the Struthers Hubbard game last week. Good battle.
Yeah.
Struthers pulled out at the end. Muzzolino had a great game. Are you happy for the Wildcats? What do you think? Can we see possible Mooney Struthers matchup week 12? It looks real now. 12-13.
I am happy for the Wildcats just for that reason. I'd like to see. I'd like to see that battle, but for the Wildcats, I want them to play Mooney because if you want to arrive, you got to beat that big team in the area. I don't know if Coach Kuntz is excited about looking at that, but I think that I'm excited about it. I know you're excited about potentially seeing that matchup. I'm glad that you got to see Hubbard. I didn't get to see him in person. I think you probably gave him a little bit of perspective. You can give me a little bit more, but Hubbard's a good young team. But Struthers, they got that big offensive line. They wear on you, man. I mean,
think they're destined there, or no? It's too much for them.
I don't know. I'll tell you what.
I guess we'll get a little better picture this
week. We were painting the picture earlier. I think you got to watch out for Woodridge. You got to watch out for Crestwood in that region. You got some good teams. I think
I really think Mooney's a team to beat, though.
And I agree.
If things finish out well.
You're
Mooney. When it comes to playoffs, Mooney.
They took care of Harding, and that's the
surprise.
That's the big one.
I kind of alluded that I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them.
Yeah, I mean, you called it. I didn't think, and I'll be the first one to say it. I didn't think they would. I thought that, I bet on Lynn. I bet on Lynn, and you know what?
And that's
If you can ask me again, I would still bet on Lynn. Anytime, if we're gonna put anything on it, I'm gonna bet on Lynn Bowden. But at the end of the day, it's just Mooney does what they do, and that's what's this week. It scares me a little bit, but like we said, you throw the records out in that game, and we'll see.
Boardman Fitch, anything? Do anything for you?
Hey, Coach Ignazio did a great job last week. He just, he
Might have ruined your season.
yeah,
didn't
he beat every Catholic school on his schedule. So, well, I don't know if there's another Catholic school in there, but he beat the local ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they.
Were you
we'll
there?
see. I was not there. I watched a little film on it, but we'll see. I know Coach Anarella does a great job. I think that he wants to finish the season the right way, win the last two, and I think winning that game propels you. So hopefully they don't follow the same way they did the last time they beat Mooney. So.
Any other matchup you're looking forward to? I don't know, this week or even the future.
You know what?
here?
I actually didn't know that there was another game on the schedule until you just told me. I just assumed.
Mooney
I just assumed that Urson and Mooney, that was the only game played this week. But
After hearing the mayor here kind of being political, yes or no, but can you live with the Mooney Urson merger if that would ever come down to it?
you know what?
As an Urson guy,
As an Urson guy, I can. I'm actually I'm a big proponent of it. I personally think that we should be merged.
Wow.
I just think it makes sense. I think that we're
you'd have
just
to have a new building, new colors, new everything. You couldn't be
well. I'd be fine.
Urson Cardinals.
I'd be fine with being the Cardinals. I'm a guy that I'm a realist. I've seen both sides of it. I've seen us having to go back, and it's not just Ursuline. From my coaching perspective, it's these Mooney guys too. I see that we're struggling for games. We're playing these big teams, but I'm gonna tell you what. Right now, you ask a St. Edge, you ask anybody that we've played. We go into those games thinking we can win, and they know that we can win. So and we're short. We're walking into gunfights with knives because we're just short on depth. But I just think it would be a very special merger athletically, but academically, I just think it. For the area, we just don't have the numbers we've had in the past. It's not just it's what it is. What it is.
But as well as anybody, if Mooney or Urson makes the playoffs, they have a chance to go all the way.
Yeah,
which is special.
Yeah, it is special, but at the same time, I've been a coach to where, everyone says, oh, if you get in the playoffs, you can win it. But at the same time, I'll give you last year, for example. I thought we had a very special group, but we've had guys. I had to imagine in the state semi last year, we were the only team in the state semis where our starters were never pulled in the fourth quarter. So we never had one cakewalk or one team where you could say, hey, you beat a team by X amount of points and you can go sit your team in the fourth quarter. And and that stuff, and that's not a shot at other teams. That's not a testament to but we have a schedule where week in and week out, and I guess you're a victim of your own success, but that's why I'd say let's combine and let's go to battle.
Is Ursuline done?